Hello students of 6th standard. Today we will start our 4th chapter of science, sorting materials into groups. What does it mean? Sorting means what? What is material? Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. The matter used in making an object is called material. What is material? Any object you see in front of you is made up of one or three materials. This type of objects, which is made up of one or more matter, that is one or more things, example, is called material. For example, if you take a chair, a chair is an object, but it is made up of wood. So wood is a material. And if the chair is made up of some metals like iron, then the iron is a material there. So materials are various types of things from which different types of objects are being made of. And sorting means what? Sorting means to classify, to distinguish some of the materials into groups. Why this distinction is necessary? Why grouping is necessary for the nowadays? What are the benefits of sorting out? That you will study in this chapter, and also how to recognize the materials based on the observable properties, and also how to classify them, that you will study in this chapter. So objects around us are made up of large varieties of materials. We have seen that our food and clothes have so much variety in them, that we have already seen in our second and third chapter. Now see, not just food and clothes, there is such a vast variety of objects everywhere. Besides food and clothes, we are also using such a large variety of objects in our livelihood. We see around us a chair, a bullock cart, a cycle, cooking utensils, books, clothes, toys, water, stones, and many other objects. All these objects have different shapes, colors, and uses. You can see in figure 4.1 here are some of the things are being collected from nearby. You can also collect some of the things from your drawing room or study room where you are just now studying at present. Collect some of the things and keep it in your side. Look around and identify some of the objects. Are these objects are in shape round? That are in round in shape. Our list may include if we collect a round shape object from these pictures, then what will be? A rubber ball, a football, and a glass marble. These all three things are man-made things, and all these things are not eatables, but it is a round in shape. That is a rubber ball for playing a football or big ball, and also a glass marble. If we include objects that are nearly round, our list could also include some of the objects like apple, orange, and earthen pitcher, that is a gara, to fill our water. Suppose if we are looking for the objects that are edible, means the round in shape objects, but it should be also eatables, which can be eaten by us. Then can you think of some of the items which is round and also which can be eaten by us? We might include all the items that we are listed in table 1.1 and 1.2, 1.3 in chapter 1. These are the ingredients like some of the pulses, like all the tur dals and all the mug dals, and you can say also some of the items like chapati, puri, biscuits, cakes are round in shape. All these things are round in shapes and also edible. We might also find that some of the things are round in shape objects, but we just listed out are also in this group. Let us say we wish to make a group of objects that are made up of plastic. Now take second object, that list some of the objects that are made up of plastic in your place. You can do it in a rough note, that how many things are made up of plastic. Here some of them are mentioned in the textbook, that is buckets, lunchbox, toys, water containers, pipes, and many such objects may find a place in this group. You can also add your sharpener, your some of the mobile accessories. Then it can be your containers, different types of kitchen containers. Then also some of the tools which we used in the kitchen, and so many things are made up of plastics. There are so many ways to group objects. In the above example, we have grouped objects on the basis of their shape or the materials they are made up of. In the both the example, you might have noticed that first we have taken the example of a shape. So according to the classification in the was done with the round in shape objects, and afterwards we also distinguish with the eatables and non-eatables. We have grouped them, and in second one we have grouped them with the objects made up of plastics. There are many different ways of sorting out objects. Example on the basis of the material used in making the objects. It can be glass, metal, plastic, wooden, paper, clay objects, etc. Materials or the objects are sorted into groups on the basis of their appearance also. Hardness, transparency, color and shape. This you will study in this chapter. A given material could be also used to make a large number of objects. Not only one objects, but some of the materials can be made, materials are used to make one or other so many types of materials. It is also possible that an object could be made up of single material or of many types of material. Suppose if you take a plastic tumbler, then plastic tumbler is made up of plastic. Okay, but if your study table, if you look at the study table, sometimes you will find that it is the legs of the table is made up of iron material, then the tabletop is made up of wooden material, some of the screws and some of the screws are made up of iron material. So there are so many different materials also added to it to make a one single objects. Sometimes one object is made up of single material, or some objects may be made up of different types of material also. So you can say that materials or the objects are sorted into groups on the basis of their appearance also, in their uses, hardness, transparency, color and shape. What are the benefits of grouping of material? What do you think? Why it is necessary to group the objects? Because similar objects are placed together to make them easy to locate them. If we keep the similar objects in one place, it is easy to find them. For example, if we take an example of your kitchen, if all the things of utensils, all the food items which are eatables and all the containers and the kitchen tools are kept in the kitchen, then it's good. But if some of the things are kept in the bedroom and living room, is it look nice? What we will do? While cooking, you will come to the bedroom once, while you will go to the living room, and that's so. You will find it everywhere, all the things. Likewise, some of the things are in the bedroom, like your drawers, your cupboard, side table, TV, then your study table, all these things. So far, some of the accessories are in the bedroom. If you leave it in the all these accessories, your cosmetics, your some of the accessories in the kitchen, what will be at the end of the day? Then you will find all these things everywhere. Then will you be able to dress up very fast at early in the morning? And will your mother will be able to cook it very fast? No, because all the times she might be finding all the things year around. So if we keep all the things in the proper place according to the uses, it will be easy to locate them and work will be also fast. We can also take some of the example of the shopkeeper with so many. If we visit any ready-made shop garment, then what will be? If you will go and ask for the jeans pant, the shopkeeper will question you next that what size you want. You will say 35, 36. Then the shopkeeper will easily get to the drawer and get to the drawer of the jeans pant where he has kept of the size 36, and easily locate it and bring all the patterns which he might be having in size 36. And afterwards another customer will come. He will say to the shopkeeper that he wants a jeans pant of a size 40. Then what does the shopkeeper will do? Will it find everywhere? No. He has already classified and kept in a desk or a drawer part where he has written a size 40. He will easily locate it and give it to the customer. For them, the size wise costumes is kept and classified according to the size wise. So it is very easy for the shopkeeper to locate them. So on the basis of this example, you might have understood that why sorting out is very necessary. Also, you can take the example of a shopping mall. If you want to go for a shopping to buy some of the grocery items, and along with them, if you want to buy some of the things in your hosiery material, some of the nightwear, and if you want to also buy some of the cosmetic items, what will you do? Will you find everywhere? No. You will easily go to the grocery part departments and buy some of the grocery parts, and afterwards you will go to the clothing department to buy some of the night dress, and also to the, if you want to buy cosmetics, another department you will go for buying a cosmetics. It will make your life easily and fast, and also you will do the shopping very fast. If it will be all the things will be mixed up, then will you be able to get it to very nicely? No. You will also, at the end of the shopping, you will get tired, because one thing is up, one thing is this corner, one thing is another corner. So dividing the material into groups makes it easier to study the properties and buying them easily also. Also, grouping also helps to study the pattern in the properties of the material. By afterwards, you can also study the material if you are doing some research work. By grouping is also necessary to study the pattern of the proper different types of material. It also becomes easy to take the stock of the material, and also can get information about the shortfall of the material. This is also necessary in the shopping mall, and also to the shopkeeper with a one stock, that it is very easy to find out the stock of the material and also to shortfall of the material and make a list of it. So sorting, there are so many benefits of grouping of the material. On what factors what you will choose that material is used for making any specific object depends. We choose a material to make an object depending on not only its property but also its property for its use. So now let's study activity 1. Let us collect some of the objects as possible from around us. Each one of us could get some everyday objects from the classroom or from outside the school. What will have you in your collection? It can be chalk, pencil, notebook, rubber, duster, a hammer, nail, soap, spoke of a wheel, bat, matchbox, salt, potato. We can also list objects that we can think of but cannot bring to the classroom. For example, wall, tree, doors, tractor, road, etc. Now separate all the objects from this collection that are made up of from paper or a wood. This way we can divide all the objects into two groups, and one group has the objects that are made up of paper, and other groups are the objects that are made up of wood, and other group has the objects that are made up of not of these materials. Similarly, we could separate the things that are used for preparing the food. Now let us you can do this experiment and with your present in your home also. You can take some of the objects from your nearby, and afterwards you can group them with the made up of your books, and all the things are made up of paper, and your calendar and your some of the cardboards and some of the things are made up of paper, and other things, your furniture might be, all these things were made up of wood, and some of the things like bed sheets, clothes will be made up of other materials. So you can group them and separate them easily by the using a property of just getting it with the appearance. Let us be a little more systematic. List all the objects collected in table 4.1. Try to identify the objects that each one is made up of. And it would be fun to make this a large table collecting information about as much possible objects as possible. It may seem difficult to find out the material out of which of the some of the objects are made. In such a cases, discuss. If you don't know which this material is made up of, then you can take a help of your parents. See, some of the objects I have written here. It is written that plate, that is a thali, which in which you are eating a food, that it can be made up of steel, glass, plastic, and paper plates. Also, it can be made up of. So, and also then pen. Pen is made up of plastic and metal. You can take a scale. Scale is made up of plastic, steel, wood. Bucket. Bucket is made up of steel, brass, plastic, aluminium. Chair, wood, plastic, iron. Cupboard nearby, which can be made up of wood or iron. Blackboard is made up of wood and cement. Compass box, it is made up of iron or a plastic. Bottles can be made up of glass, steel, ceramic, aluminium, plastic, so many things. Books is made up of paper. So from this activity, what do you understood? What is the conclusion part of this activity? You can understood that some objects are made up of different materials. There are so many objects and it can be made up of so many different materials also. So now see activity 2. List some common materials. You can also add more materials in this column 1 that are known to you. And now try and think of everyday objects you know that are made mainly of these materials and list them in column 2. Here in table 4.2 you have to do the opposite of it. You have to list down some of the materials and write down the objects which can be made up of this type of materials. See, in first column it is written material and second column it is written objects made up of this material. First one is wood. From wood so many things are being made, but here some of the things are mentioned: chair, table, plough, bullock cart and its wheel. Also you can include your study table, cupboard, your computer table, doors, windows, etc. Then paper. From paper what it can be: books, notebooks, newspapers, toys, calendars, magazines, etc. Some toys can also be made, notebooks, etc. You can also add so many things if you have at your present. Then leather, you can think about it and write it down. Here I have written bag, shoes, belt, purse, wallet, watch, strap, jacket. From plastic, so many things you can include in of your own choice also: bucket, tumbler, compass books, pen, footwear, dustbin box, toys, etc. Then cotton you can include sari, shirt, jeans, mattress, quilt, curtains, bed sheets, thread, handkerchiefs, etc. You can also include some of the materials like glass. From glass so many things are: crockeries, tumblers, your utensils, spectacles, mirrors, cell phone, etc. are made up of glass. If aluminium, then buckets, utensils, wire, medicine wrapper, etc. can be made. Also from clay, earthen pot, row houses, chulla, road utensils, veranda, etc. can be made up of it. So from this activity 4.2, table 4.2, what do you understood? Many objects can be made from same material and different objects can be made from the same material as well. So what do we find from this table? First we grouped objects in many different ways, and now we have found that objects are around us are made up of different materials. At times an object is made up of single material also, and also an object could also be made up of many materials also, and then again one material could be used for many other objects also. So what decides that which materials should be used for making any objects? It seems that we need to know more about the different materials. So here we end our first part of the chapter, and properties of material I will explain you in next part.